Hello, welcome to lesson 32. This is about angles and polygons. Now with this lesson you're going to need to take a lot of notes. We have a lot of vocabulary and we're actually have a whole board full, so we won't be able to do too many examples. The first thing, which is angles, is pretty much all review except for maybe straight angle. But a right angle makes what we describe right now a square corner, even though we do know it is 90 degrees. Exactly. So it has to be a square corner. That's the only way that you can make a right angle. So it would be just like this with your arm. This would be a right angle. Now an acute angle is anything smaller than a right angle. That's how we're going to learn them right now, is that acute angles are smaller than and obtuse angles are larger than. So acute angles could be anywhere from this to this to this. You can have multiple different types or multiple ways to create an acute angle. Now we also have an obtuse angle, and I always like to think of it because obtuse sounds really big. So we have anything from here to here to here would be an obtuse angle. Now straight angles are completely straight. So this would be a straight angle, and I can't actually make it perfectly with my arms. It's a little difficult right there. So we have a straight angle, and a straight angle is actually 180 degrees. It's just a complete straight line or segment. So the thing that makes angles what they are is when you have two lines or two segments intersecting at a point, and the space in between them is what we call an angle. So you have to have two lines or two segments intersecting to have space in between them, which is why I have a little dot in between this straight angle right here. It's showing that we do have kind of two separate segments going on here. All right, the next thing that we're going to look at is a polygon, and you do need to write this down in your notes. A polygon is a flat, closed shape formed by line segments. Those are three qualifications that you need in order to form a polygon. When it's flat, that means you have a flat plane or flat surface, just like the carpet of our floor. Our floor in our classroom is a flat surface, or a flat plane is what we would say. And it's closed, meaning you don't have three sides of a square with one partially kind of opened, which most of the time you don't even think of those as shapes anyway at this point, so it's just making the definition more strict. It has to be closed. And it's formed by line segments, meaning you're going to have straight lines or straight segments. There's no curved lines involved. Now the sides of our polygon, or the lines that form our polygon, are simply called sides. And the corners where the segments meet together is called a vertex, or we would say vertices for plural. That's what we call them. So we have a vertex, which are our corners, and vertices, which is more than one corner. Now, these are some examples to show you what a polygon is not, just to kind of get a definition, or to look at our definition in comparison. This shape, why would it not be a polygon? This would not be a polygon because it is not closed. It is an opened shape. This is not a polygon. Why would this not be a polygon? Because it is not formed by line segments. I have a curved line going on here, so I don't have all straight sides, therefore it is not a polygon. And then why is this not a polygon? That would be because it is not flat. It is three-dimensional. So a cube is not a polygon. Now we have different polygons that can be composed of three or more sides. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be exactly what you might picture in your mind as far as with a quadrilateral and four sides. It doesn't have to be just a square. You can have so many different polygons with so many different looks, sizes, shapes, angles, all that it encompasses. It doesn't have to be your regular polygon that you might see, such as an octagon as a stop sign. It doesn't have to be exactly that. It can look many different ways as long as it fits these qualifications of being flat, a closed shaped, and formed by line segments. So a triangle is a polygon, and it has three sides. We have many different types of triangles, and we'll be looking over those in future lessons as far as specific classifications of triangles, because there's more than one way that you can make a triangle. Quadrilaterals, there are definitely many ways that you can make quadrilaterals, and they are also classified as polygons. So within these, you almost have like your book of polygons with all the chapters, and inside these chapters, you have different parts of your story going on. You have many different kinds. That's how I kind of think of it. Kind of weird, but it's kind of fun. Then we have pentagons. Pentagons have 5 sides. Hexagons have 6 sides. Heptagons, 7 sides. Octagons, which most of you already know, is 8 sides. Decagon is 10 sides. And one of my favorites to say, dodecagon, which is 12 sides. So I would like you to go ahead and write these down. That will be great to remember and great to refer back to for future homework problems. Now, the last thing that we are going to cover is these terms, similar and congruent. We use them when describing or comparing polygons. Similar just means that two shapes have the same size, or you have two shapes that are the exact same shape. So if I have 2 squares, I know I'm kind of out of room here. This is kind of a rectangle. I have a rectangle here, and I have a similar rectangle here. They are similar because they're the same shape. Now, probably not perfect because I cannot draw that perfect. It would take a lot of time, but they are similar. However, they are not congruent. They are not congruent because in order to be congruent, or to have 2 congruent shapes or polygons, you have to have the same size and same shape. So same shape and same size. These do not have the same size. They are not the exact same. Therefore, they are not congruent. They are only similar, is what we would say. You have 2 similar shapes. Like if I were to say 2 people in our class are similar, they're not the exact same person. They're similar because they have similar traits. These 2 shapes have similar traits because they are both rectangles. Or if I were to have 2 isosceles triangles, they would be similar. But if they were the exact same size, they would be similar, but they would also be congruent. So you can have a shape that is both similar and congruent, but if it is not congruent, or if it is not similar, if it is just similar, it doesn't always have to be congruent. So I would say, to more simplify that statement, congruent is always similar, but similar is not always congruent, because congruent has to have same shape and same size. So if it has the same shape and same size, it definitely has the same shape, so it's definitely similar. Now that's all we're going to have time to cover for today, but we'll look at some of the practice set problems and go over those, and also be drawing maybe some of the different types of polygons that we learned about for each other in class. Thank you very much for listening.